Welcome back. What's going to be a very different video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Euros, which are starting in just 2 days, and I'm going to be giving my predictions for how I think things are going to go. I'm going to list how I think the group stage is going to go, round 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and who I think is going to win the tournament. As well as that, I'm also going to mention some underdogs who I think are dark horses that might surprise us, and give my prediction for Golden Boot and Player of the Tournament. And jumping straight into Group A, as you can see, it's currently not in order of how I would predict it. It's in alphabetical order. However, I do think Italy are going into the group, so we'll leave them where they are. I then think second place is going to be Turkey, as I think Yilmaz is going to do a lot of damage and score a lot of goals and overall be a big help. As well as that, they've got Suunchu, who's had an unbelievable season for Leicester, and a few other really good players. So Turkey, second place in that group for me. Not quite beating Italy. I think they've got a lot of talent, especially young talent at the moment as well as some veterans like Chiellini, for example. Third place, I'm going to give it to Wales, purely because I think they'll beat Switzerland, and I think Turkey will beat Wales and Switzerland, and Italy will beat everyone. But I think Wales will get the edge over Switzerland. So we'll put Wales there. Hopefully Gareth Bale can do bits. Moving on to Group 2, we've got Belgium to top the group. Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku. It was an unbelievable season for Inter Milan. I can't see Belgium losing a game in the group stages. I think Belgium are going to go a long way in this tournament. Second place, I'm going to keep Denmark where they are. I think Denmark have a very strong team, particularly in midfield, with likes of Christian Eriksen. However, they also have very good defence for the first time in a long time. They've got Andreas Christensen, who's just won the Champions League with Chelsea. They've got Schmeichel in goal, who's just won the FA Cup. I think Denmark are going to surprise us in this tournament, maybe potentially one of the underdogs. Third place, I'm going to give it to Russia over Finland, purely because of, like I said with Group A, I think Russia will beat Finland and the other teams will tear through them both. But yeah, Finland, other than their goalkeeper, don't really have much going for them. So yeah, we'll go with that. And next up, we've got Group C, where I think Netherlands are going to top that group. They've got a very, very good team with Gini Wijnaldum in midfield, Memphis Depay up front, who's just had an unreal season and is linked with Barcelona right now after recently becoming a free agent. I think Netherlands will top that group. I can't see them having much trouble. Potentially Austria might give them a good game, but that's the most I can see happening. Leading on from that, we're going to keep Austria in second place. Again, Austria are a team where they've got a few very good players, like of David Alaba, Marcel Sabitzer. But when you just put them in a team together, they don't play as they should. Still, decent team, some decent players. We'll put them second place. Don't think anyone's going to be surprised by me moving Ukraine to third and leaving North Macedonia in fourth place. Other than Alioski, who plays for Leeds, North Macedonia don't have anyone going for them. So, fourth place for them. They're going to lose every game in my opinion. However, I'm sure their fans will be happy to watch them play in a major tournament. And speaking for Ukraine, they've got some decent footballers, but they don't score many goals. So we'll have to watch out for that. And here we go, Group D, England's group. There's only one place to put them, and it's at the top. I think every England fan will want to see us beat Croatia after the trouble they caused us in 2018 when they broke all of our hearts when they beat us in the semi-finals. After that Kieran Trippier goal, my life and the lives of a lot of others peaked. I can't put into words how that made me feel. That free kick, beautiful. But then we lost. Dreams were ruined, and we got knocked out. So we'll want to beat Croatia to get our revenge back on them. We'll also really want to beat Scotland, as it's a derby, essentially. I do think Scotland will be very up for that game against us, though. They'll want to show themselves. They'll want to put up a good fight and not let us turn them over, as most people would expect us to. And finally, playing Czech Republic. That again, can't see us having much trouble. They don't have a very strong team. We shouldn't find any difficulty there. Second place, I'm going to keep Croatia exactly where they are. As like I said, they're a good team. Beat us in the semi-finals of the World Cup. They shouldn't have any difficulties against Czech or Scotland, so we'll keep them in second place. And for third place in Group D, it is definitely a toss-up between these two of who's going to do it. But I think Czech will do it. Purely because I think they'll beat Scotland, and that's the only reason, because us and Croatia are going to beat both of them, so it's just down to that final game to fight for third place. Now then, we get to Group E, and this is going to be my most controversial group. Anyone would expect Spain to win this group. Anyone would expect Spain to be up there. However, I think Spain are going to come second, and I think Poland are going to come top. And that's because, if you look at Spain's team now, yes, they've got some very good players, but if you think back 10 years, when they had the likes of Xavi, Puyol, Iniesta, Sergio Ramos, Casillas, their team then was elite, and I think since then it's took a downwards turn every year, and I don't back them in this competition at all. I think it'll be a very tough game between them and Poland, with Robert Lewandowski playing up front, and I think he's going to score a couple of goals and he's going to put Spain in the place. I do think Spain have the ability to come second and get through to the knockout stages when playing the likes of Sweden and Slovakia, especially since Zlatan Ibrahimovic is not playing as he's recently got injured. So Poland to top this group for me, Spain second, Slovakia are going to come third, purely because of the recent news about Zlatan being injured. And other than Zlatan, Sweden, they've got Isaac to replace him up front, I suppose, but nowhere near the quality of Zlatan, so that's how we're going to hold Group E. And last but not least, we have Group F. Group F is absolutely terrifying. France, Germany and Portugal in one group. There could be three teams that would meet in the final and you wouldn't bat an eyelid at it. So to see them all in the same group is crazy, and I feel so sorry for Hungary that shot them straight at the bottom, and not speaking another word about them because we really want to know who's going to come first and second. First, I think we're going to have France. I think Kylian Mbappe and N'Golo Kante are going to run the group, going to control, they're going to turn everyone over. No one is going to have a chance against those players. It's not just those two, they've got the whole team that go around it. They just gel so well, and I think that's how it's going to roll out. Second place, I'm going to keep Germany where they are. It's arguable that Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo could come above Germany, but the way Germany play together, they gel so well, and they won 7-1 in their last friendly the other day, just before the Euro starts. I believe it was only against Latvia, could be wrong, but it wasn't a big team. But scoring 7 goals, they're going to be filled with confidence. And Germany have always played well as a team. So yeah, Germany second, and Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo just missing out in third place. However, that is not a big issue, as there's 6 groups, and third place in 4 of those groups also goes through to the knockout stages. So let's take a look at who's going to make it through in third place. So here you can see my third place from Group A is Wales, Group B, Russia, Group C, Ukraine, Group D, Czech Republic, Group E, Slovakia, and Group F, Portugal. Now I can choose 4 of these to go through, but the way it's decided in the tournament is the 4 with the most amount of points, which they'd earned during the group stage. So you could look at Portugal, for example, think they're the best team available out of third place, so they're going to be going through. However, they have played Germany and France, so if they get beat by Germany and France, then they could only have 3 points from beating Hungary, whereas teams like Ukraine might have a better chance because of the other teams in their group, if you know what I'm saying. However, I do think Portugal will scrape through, even if it's on goal difference, because it'll definitely be a close game between Germany and Portugal and France and Portugal, but I think Portugal will absolutely annihilate Hungary 3 or 4-0, and that'll definitely help them out with a goal difference. So we're going to put Portugal through first. As well as Portugal, I'm going to give Ukraine a spot, as in their group they've got Netherlands, Austria, North Macedonia. North Macedonia is a 3 points for them, and I think they might put up a fight against Austria and even potentially Netherlands. I think they'll get enough points to put themselves through. Next up, I'm actually going to give it to Wales, as I think they'll beat Switzerland, like I said, and I can see them maybe getting lucky against Turkey if Gareth Bale performs. And then last but not least, I think the last one is going to be Czech Republic from Group D. And again, just because I think they'll have a better chance of gaining a few lucky points than Russia and Slovakia. Moving on, and now we're into the knockout stages, the round of 16, and this is where things get interesting. So, Belgium versus Portugal, and that is going to be one hell of a game. Again, this is very dependent on if Ronaldo can perform. I think Belgium have a much better side. Kevin De Bruyne is questionable with injuries at the moment, which would give Portugal an advantage. They need Ronaldo on form, Bernardo Silva on form, Bruno Fernandes on form. Portugal need to be at their best to beat Belgium, even without the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, because they've still got Hazard, they've still got Lukaku, and I think Belgium will win that game. Next up, Italy versus Austria. I think this is pretty straightforward. Like I said, Austria do have some good players, but all round Italy have what it takes, so give that one to Italy. France versus Wales. This will be embarrassing for Wales, and I can see that being 3-4, even 5-0, because it's knockout stages. France aren't going to be messing about no more, they'll be going for it. The only thing that would give Wales a chance, in my opinion, is the fact that France have had many hard games, and the last group stage game for France is Portugal, and that could be important. They could be tired, injured, anything, so that's Wales' only chance. Now this one, as I've said, I don't rate Spain, and I don't think Spain are going to perform well in this tournament, so I'm going to give this one to Croatia. Croatia have a lot of good players, however a lot of their players are past their peak, in the 30s now, and however this could be their last tournament and they want to go out in style, so beating Spain, not too bad. Poland versus Ukraine. Again, fairly tough game, but I'm going to give Robert Lewandowski's Poland the advantage, just because he's in the team. Other than that, very even teams. Poland might just edge them, but with Lewandowski in the side, should be easy. Next up, England-Germany. This, I've got to say England. I think England will win. If we're on form, by this point in the tournament, we could have Henderson back full fitness, we could have Maguire full fitness, and that's what we need if we're going to be beating teams like Germany. if we're going to win the tournament, we shouldn't have a problem against Germany. So we'll take England in that one. Next up, Netherlands versus Czech Republic. Czech Republic squeezed through from Group D in third place. And I think Netherlands will walk straight through them. Like I said, Memphis Depay being on fire, and I think that run's going to continue into the Euros. And finally, we've got Turkey versus Denmark. And this will actually be a really good game. Both of them are two underdogs, which are going to surprise us in this tournament. They've got some stars like Yilmaz, who is again coming to the end of his career, will want to go out with a big bang. So this is the way to do it. And Denmark have the likes of Christian Eriksen, like I said, and plenty of other good players. A lot of up and coming players too. However, all round, I think Denmark are the better side. But I'm going to give this one to Turkey. Now we move on to the quarterfinals. First off, we've got Belgium and Italy. I do really like Italy, and I think they've got a lot of talent, but Belgium really will take some beating. They're a top quality football team, so Belgium and Romelu Lukaku are going to go through to the semi-finals, in my opinion. Next up, we've got France versus Croatia, which was the World Cup final 3 years ago now, after Croatia knocked England out in the semis, and France won that, and I think they're going to do the same again. France are definitely going to be a big contender in this competition, and they're going to cause a lot of teams a lot of trouble. So France to beat Croatia for me. Next up, we've got England versus Poland. I can't see us having much of a problem with Poland, especially in a big quarter-final game. Gareth Southgate's men are going to be up for this. They're going to want to prove themselves. Realistically, we want to get in the final, and best way to do that by beating Poland. We'll have our best 11 out there, and I can't see them being much of an issue. And finally, in the quarterfinals, we've got Netherlands versus Turkey. Now again, this could be a very tricky game. It'd be a very good game to watch. However, I think after Turkey's run, they'll be happy with reaching the quarterfinals, but I can't see it going much further than that. Netherlands have a lot of good players. Pai, as I keep mentioning, he's going to have an amazing talent, I can already tell. We've got De Ligt, De Jong. Van Dijk is injured, but they've got people that can come and replace him with no problems, like Nathan Ake. Not on Van Dijk's level, but still a very, very solid defender. I think Netherlands will take that one. And now we're in the semi-finals. Belgium versus France and England versus Netherlands. Belgium versus France is, in a sense, a derby, bordering countries. Two very good countries as well. I can see both of them really wanting to win this game, but France are going to do it, in my opinion, unless all of Belgium's top stars bring their A game and can put a few goals away. But in my opinion, this one's got to be France. And obviously, England versus Netherlands. You've got to back the boys. We're going to do it. I think if this fixture happened, 2-0 win for England, and I'm going to call it right now. Harry Kane to score the first, Jack Grealish to score the second. That's if he's going to play, but I think Jack Grealish deserves a spot. And finally, France versus England in the cup final. This might be me being biased, but I'm going to pick England. France have an amazing team. England have an amazing team. I've got to back them. That's what we've got to do. We've got to back England. So there we have it. So I'm going to thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I know this isn't my normal type of videos, but trust me, some NBA Supercard content will be coming soon, as well as lots more Euro 2020 content, because I'm really into my football and I'd love to make videos about it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your predictions. Let me know if you agree with any of mine. Anything you disagree with, make sure you tell me. Always open to hear. Have a conversation with a few in the comments. But yeah, there we have it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.